Greetings, Programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. And in the last episode, guys, Verne tried desperately to sabotage the Nautilus to delay Nemo from carrying out his mad plan. Unfortunately for him, the one crew member who decided to help us was also the nation's spy, Nadine. So Nemo was able to capture both of us. We're both imprisoned, and Verne needs to find a way to get out of here. So, let's see what we can do.
This is a nightmare! I must get out of here!
I mean, that doesn't really surprise me.
I must find another way out. Again? The Valkyria has found us. Perfect. It's my way out ticket.
Neat. That was convenient.
But the iMag is inside the safe room. I must... Wait a minute. Am I having a déjà vu?
I have been in this place before. Deep down in the sea.
Mon Dieu! Merde!
Cover the iMag. Alright, let's go. Gotta hustle. No time for organ playing.
Mon Dieu! Merde! Merde! Merde!
Oh, that ain't good. Hopefully Verne can swim. Be in the depths of Sesame Street? What's... Into the writer's mind. Oh dear.
What happened? Why am I not dead? This damn bridge again.
Search the bridge.
Something holds me from moving.
Okay, where are you, Phobos? We know you're here.
Jules, your mother and I are deeply disappointed with you. Your preposterous pretension of becoming a writer and your incessant failures are transforming the good name of Verne Alot into a joke among respectable people. We have resolved to give you an ultimatum. If, by the end of the year, you don't have an honorable job, we will feel that we only have 4 sons, not 5. Pierre and Sophie. This letter, I have read it before, but me? A writer? Mon Dieu! Merde!
Well, that escalated.
Wake up.
That you, Placia?
Where am I now? What happened? The sky. Why has it that color?
Time for some more exploration. First, though, where is the settings? Turn the voices down just a little bit.
God.
It's not a person, I don't think. Parts of the Nautilus. Oh yeah.
What the hell is going on? Have I finally turned insane? This light. Oh, my head is killing me. But I must continue. I can't allow neither Nemo nor the Raven to take over the flame. I must stop them. But what can I do? I know. I will look for the ancestors. They will know what to do. Maybe.
Find the ancestors. Easy. What could go wrong? Oh, there's a futuristic city there. Oh no, that's the Valkyrie. Never mind. And what's left of the Nautilus. Did not see the giant.
Nadine!
Headpiece. Oh, dear. Rest well, dear spy. Nadine, Navigation Officer. She had an enormous natural talent for navigation and has improved all the navigation systems of the Nautilus since her arrival. Nadine is in charge of piloting the submarine, preparing navigation charts, and managing all external communications. She rarely goes down to the work areas of the Corps. She was born in the nation, but as a child she was forced to escape and take refuge in the American Empire due to the persecution her parents suffered for their political and religious ideas. She joined one of Captain Nemo's rebel cells in charge of stealing and sabotaging the nation's technology. After successfully passing his demanding tests, she became one of the Nautilus family. When the first pilot died in an attack, Nemo did not hesitate to give her the job. Her crazy and grumpy character does not prevent her from being an excellent professional, although she has trouble following the rules. She loves sailing. The feel of movement and control is what fills her the most, but she's afraid of losing her youth. She wants to live and not be locked between tons of metal. Every day that passes, she is more tired of the war and the hardship she suffers with. Well, not anymore.
God, will there be any survivor?
Here.
Nemo!
Oh, Verne! I'm glad to see you.
What happened to you? Where are the others?
Dead. All dead, damn it.
My understanding was that good captains always sank with their ships.
My crew is dead because of me. My Nautilus, wrecking. No, Verne, I haven't been a good captain at all. However, abandoning the ship was not my idea. An explosion put me down and currents dragged me here.
A part of me wants to help you, but the other wants to leave you here, alone with your grief. Tell me, what would you do in my place? That Project H monstrosity would deserve you.
Project H. I knew it was infamous, but something inside me kept me moving forward. It was a dreadful solution, yes, but it was perfect. Almost divine. A complete purification. By all gods, Verne, you must believe me.
Only a soul sickened by fear and anger would brew something as heinous as Project H.
When I saw my wife and my daughter dying by the hands of the nation, I could do nothing to save them. They fade in my arms. I took revenge, yes. With my own hands, I cut the throat of the captain that gave the execution order. But I have never been able to get rid of the horror of my own helplessness. And now, my Nautilus, my crew, it's all destroyed.
You have opened Pandora's box, Captain. You have brought the flame to the nation's fingertips. You have sentenced mankind.
I deserve all your disdains. But let me ask you for a last favor.
The iMac.
Me and the Nautilus have enough strength to bow out in a blaze of glory. Help me to board back, and I will make sure that the Valkyrie will never take the flame away.
By yourself? Are you insane?
Maybe. After all, I am Captain Nemo.
Yeah.
Let me help you save the world.
Should be on his business card.
Will that be enough?
Perfect. No, I can. By myself. I'm sorry that everything has come to this end. In another world, everything would have been different. Better. It has been an honor, Jules Verne.
Thanks, Captain.
Have a safe journey.
But the fact that he's in his diving costume gives me the vibe that he was trying to escape. Unless they were planning to search for ruins down below. Okay, now I expect to see the Nautilus go up in a blaze of glory. I want to see if...
God.
Okay. And then we have, like, it looks like a terrible beastie right there. Like breathing in the background. The spinal cord up above. I assume it's going to take Nemo a little bit to get stuff going. There's a body. Oh, I think that's the Russian gentleman in the background there. Hello, bird. Cracks in the flow. I assume we need to, sturdy wood.
The box resisted the wreck and kept withstanding.
This will give us the boost we need. Lovely. See that skull? We have the iMag out just in case. Seeing more stuff from...
Oh God. Again. Am I hallucinating?
Verne's office. Jules Verne was born in Nantes and his literary career took off in Paris, but he chose Amiens, his wife's hometown, to reside because, despite being close to the capital, it provided him with the required tranquility to write. I live apart from journalists and critics, and do not leave my corner, he wrote to his brother Paul. During his first years there, he settled at number 44 Boulevard, Longueville, and then moved almost next door to number 2 Rue Charles de Bois, where he lived for 18 years and where the Jules Verne Museum is now located. A few years before he died, he returned to the house on Boulevard Longueville, now known as Boulevard Jules Verne. It was an austere, bare room. Under the window there was a work table, and it was spectacular not to see in it the usual mess that usually covers the tables of the literary. There was in the room only a single seat, no more furniture than a low sofa, wrote the famous reporter Nellie Bly of the American newspaper The New York World when she visited the author. Verne had in his office, preserved in the museum, on the desk, a brown globe on which he designed the itineraries of the travels of the characters of his novels, and with a set of compasses, measured the distances and calculated the time they spent in their travels. In that office he worked on some 30 novels, writing from 5 in the morning until 11. And then he would leave to attend to his duties and get into bed around 7 in the evening to read books and magazines and take notes until midnight. Pretty neat. Build a ladder? Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. It's one of these. Okay. Which one moves? Okay. That one. That one moves that. And let's see. This is that. Kind of. Oh, that one just moves kind of by itself.
Yes.
There we go. Brute force. when you use the IMAG, and please prevent this puzzle from being created.
Oh no. Destruction once more. It doesn't seem anybody has lived here for centuries.
Verne, at last.
You are alive! Stop there! I won't let you or the Raven even get close to the flame.
Verne, listen to me. I'm on your side. Forget about the Raven and Nemo's plans. There's something much more important at stake.
I don't want to hear your reasons. You and Nemo are nothing but murder... But what the hell? What was that?
Your mind is collapsing.
Neat.
My mind? What are you talking about? Adriel. Paris in the 20th century, written by Jules Verne? That's impossible. I would have given anything for not telling you what I am about to say. This book is way very inferior to 5 weeks in a balloon. If you came to read it within a year, you would agree with me. These words, I've heard them before. To sum it all up, it's a failure. And if 1,000 men told me the opposite, I would tell them to get lost. Nobody will believe today in your prophecies, and nobody will be interested in them. It's signed by Pierre-Jules Hetzel.
These are the words of your editor.
Now I remember the rejection, the pain.
I know, Verne. That same pain is the reason why you have been brought to this world. You were trapped inside your imagination.
What? But who are you?
I am yourself. But inside this very world you have created. I was called Placia a long time ago.
Impossible! What are you talking about? Is this one of Nemo's rigs? Ah! My head!
We're running out of time. You must listen to me. You are not Jules Verne, the scientist. That's not your real identity.
Shut up!
Think! Focus! You know you are not from this world. At this very same moment, you are at the Bridge of Ardennes in Paris. You are about to destroy the last book written by you. What feels like 6 months to you in your world has been nothing more than 20 seconds. Unconsciously, when you received Hetzel's rejection, you searched for shelter inside you. Who could blame you? You have such magnificent imagination that you have created a world we know as Hemera. Nevertheless, it was fear, or Phobos. That was the reason that impelled you to hide in Hemera, and you gave him full powers over your mind. He gave you a paradise that you would never want to leave. Since you arrived here, to that idyllic island after the wreck, I have been trying to leave you a trail of breadcrumbs to carefully drive you to the truth. A too straight or too early revelation could destroy your sanity. But I can't afford subtleness anymore. Phobos, through Raven, is about to get his hands on the flame. All things beautiful and extraordinary you have ever imagined will be obliterated and turned into an infinite wasteland.
That is insane. If this is a fantasy, why can't I just wake up?
Because in order to do it, you need the flame. It's a portal to your world. If Phobos takes control over it, you will be trapped here forever, in your world. You will turn insane, and you don't have much time left.
Where are we? I'm not sure I can take any more jumps.
It's one of the main conduits that directly connects with the flame. It will lead us to the Raven himself.
Oh, I see Pipe
We
Dream.
must finish him.
There's Pipe Dream to the right. Pierre-Jules Hetzel, Jules Verne's publisher. Pierre-Jules Hetzel was the only editor of Jules Verne, with whom he created the collection of Extraordinary Voyages. He was one of his closest friends, and the writer considered him as a spiritual father. Not in vain, Hetzel was also the editor of important writers of the time, such as Balzac, Victor Hugo, or Émile Zola. In 1862, in his office at Rue Jacob in Paris, he received Verne's first novel, 5 Weeks in a Balloon. Very interested in children and young audiences, Hetzel was capable of seeing Verne's enormous talent, not only for adventures, but also for the popularization of science, since knowledge was the main weapon of his protagonists. Thus, in January 1863, he published the novel with great success, starting Verne's famous adventure saga. However, in 1864, he rejected the publication of the new novel of the promising Verne, Paris in the 20th Century, considering it too pessimistic. Through a letter to its author, he expresses his rejection and speaks of the poor quality of the story and its lack of interest. The editor knows his audience very well and believes that this novel is too serious and tragic. The rejection is a very hard blow for Verne, but there's no doubt that he takes good note of his editor's advice, since from that moment on, his work adopts a more optimistic and enthusiastic attitude toward the future, which undoubtedly contributed to making him the celebrity he is today. Paris in the 20th century was considered lost. However, in 1989, it was found by Jean Verne, the writer's great-grandson, in Verne's Son's Safe. When it was finally released in September 1994, it became a bestseller, and, to our regret, once again proved what a great science fiction writer he was. He prophesied a 20th century sadly close to our reality. I'm going to have to look that up. Okay. Doom. And go. That. Played a lot of Pipe Dream back in the day.
Let's go inside.
What could go wrong? So maybe it's a thing that if Phobos is able to break Jules Verne's mind and destroy that imagination, not
From
only...
this point, let's keep silence. Our voices may echo through the whole pipeline network.
The ancestors. After the great cataclysm that devastated Atlantis, due to a fatal breakdown in its complex energy system that was powered by the flame of Hephaestus, few survivors decided the flame was too dangerous and had to be kept away from humans to avoid their annihilation. After destroying every last trace of the flame of Hephaestus system, they left the wretched ruins of Atlantis and settled on the island where the flame of Hephaestus had its cradle, unreachable by the rest of humanity without the help of the compass of destiny. The Guard of the Ancestors was created, under the command of 2 primordials, in order to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. In the time of Atlantis' isolation, prior to its destruction, when the intention of keeping the flame out of reach of foreigners, the Atlanteans manufactured only a few compasses. When the hecatomb devastated the island, almost all of them were destroyed. Only one was saved from destruction, and it was the one that allowed the survivors to reach the island. Once there, it was given to the Angelus, a Greco-Atlantean family of sailors who from then on became their only connection to the outside world and the first guardians of their secrets. That delicate balance, the ancestors' only means of survival, was shattered 2 centuries later in the Strait of Messina when a violent storm sank the Scylla, the Angelus' ship, dragging the last compass of destiny into the depths of the sea. So just destroying this huge fount of imagination would be a long-term victory for Phobos. Also, he could harness that to create engines of war.
Strange inscription.
Ancestors 1. My name is Allura. My people are the ancestors, descendants of the last Atlanteans. I want to put on record, albeit in this way, the horror we live in. We have had no contact with the outside world for 100 years. Our predecessors surrounded the island with some kind of magic, which turns the sea into a death trap for any vessel leaving or approaching. The only compass that could guide them safely was taken from us by a storm. We are locked in. Very few fish come close to shore. The wells have dried up and there's hardly any food. Famine, war, and disease are raging. That was not smart. X, okay. Find the other 2 inscriptions.
Merde!
They're just bats. No worries.
There's something I can't get out of my mind. What's your story? What did I imagine for you?
My nature is to inspire mankind to generate progress and changes in the world. But with the passage of centuries, I learnt it was better to go unnoticed.
What do you mean?
In the 14th century, a sultan found out about me and kept me locked inside a tower for 10 years, bearing in mind that I would inspire his armies to create new ways of defeating his enemies.
And did you?
No. It took a great effort for me, but I averted it for 10 years. Each night I used to tell him a story so interesting that it kept him up all night. The next morning he wasn't in the mood for work. After 10 years, I put an end to the war.
The Arabian Nights.
So, you made him dream to forget.
That's what we dream for, don't we?
What were you doing with Nemo and his crew of fanatics? Did he know your true nature?
No. I am what you would call a muse. Years ago, I met young Nemo. I saw his potential and started telling him about Atlantis and everything the sea could offer.
So, if you are a muse, did you inspire him to create Project H?
No, my brother is also a muse. Anyone who's afraid or is consumed by anger is likely to be influenced by him.
You called it.
I inspired him to create the Nautilus. When I found out that he made it real, I joined him, since it was my chance of releasing the flame.
Release the flame? What for?
To weaken Phobos, after so many disappointments and fear. My sibling has achieved a great deal of power over Hemera. He also wants it to subdue us all, yourself included.
And why didn't you take the flame by yourself in the first place?
Without the compass and Nemo's technology, for years the flame has been out of reach for everyone.
How did you allow Nemo to carry on with the crimes he has committed?
I have struggled for years to keep him away from Phobos' influence, but as my brother gained power, I was losing the captain. All these years, I have repressed so many tears. I must learn to live with those ghosts. Let's keep silent. We're getting closer.
So she was trying to be a shepherd. Imagine how bad Nemo would have gotten had she not been there.
Why are you stopping?
Master, the cave is almost collapsing.
Will you let a bunch of rocks dishonor you?
Huh? No, Master. Never.
Faster! Get rid of this debris!
That's fun.
These must be them.
I believe they are at the pipe below.
Both of us will make too much noise. Wait here.
Phobos must be with him. Be careful. If you die in this world, you will never return to yours.
I will keep it in mind. Be careful, too, even if you are a goddess.
We got here. Can't go past that point. Okey-doke. Down we go. Are there troops?
What's this place?
Oh. Verne and volcanoes. Jules Verne had a great passion, or perhaps a small obsession, with volcanoes, as he used them in many of his major works. For the writer, they were on an open door to mystery and adventure, to the discovery of the very origin of the Earth, guarded by an unstoppable force, capable of provoking terror and admiration in equal measure. His most famous volcano is the one in Journey of the Center of the Earth, 1864. That word, located in western Iceland and which in the novel, is the gateway to a fantastic subterranean world. The volcano on Lincoln Island in his novel The Mysterious Island, 1874, plays an important role in the plot, as it hides a cave that holds a great secret. The novel The Golden Volcano, 1906, was published after his death and finished by his son Mikhail. The story takes place around a gold mine that, coincidentally, is located in the crater of a volcano. In 20,000 Leagues Under the Seas, we find several references to volcanoes, such as Nemo's secret base, built inside a submerged volcano crater. In The Adventures of Captain Hatteras, 1866, he speaks of a volcano located at the North Pole. Undoubtedly, Verne was well aware of the power of the image of a volcano and of the fascination that these titans of nature have always aroused in human beings. It says a lot about his vision of the universe that, being as he was an enthusiast of technological progress, the presence of one of the most fearsome forces of nature, capable of wiping out civilizations in the blink of the eye, is so constant. Oh, imagine if he had found out about Io and the Loki volcano. Alright, looks like we have different areas to go. But here, this fork in the road, or fork in the tunnel, seems like a good place to go ahead and call it an episode, guys. When we get back, we'll see what trouble we can get into. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you like the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. I will see you next time. Later days, everyone.